Billy is, but for always putting together this event, helping us to remember who we are in terms of Black history and the Black Wall Street. I love it, these kinds of gatherings, because it's about us. And it's about the uncelebrated folks. And it's not necessarily about the celebrated, but the uncelebrated. And somehow, always, it's the uncelebrated folks that are always on the ground, that are always very close to the issues, that are always seeking answers, that always have the courage to stand up and do the things that they need to do. So I love being in the presence of the uncelebrated, if you will. My name is Regina Goodwin, and I'm a candidate for the Senate District Seat 11. And I want to just give you a few points about that race, First of all, I want to recognize Representative Kevin Matthews, who is here. And I want to just get a few pieces of information out about the race. There seems to be some confusion. There is only one race that's going on. That is the Senate race. Okay? There are, in terms of the qualifications for Senate, you have to be 25 years old, you have to be a resident of the district, you have to be a registered voter, and you have to be blessed not to be a felon. Okay? That's qualifications for Senate. There is no step up or down. The pay is the same. Whether you're a representative or a senator, the pay is the same. I want you to understand that. Also want you to understand that should Mr. Matthews lose this race, he remains as the state representative. Should he win this race, that seat becomes open, and then there will be another special election held at a later date, possibly called by Governor Fallin. So I want you all to just get the groundwork understood, because I still have people coming to me asking me, am I running for representative? There is no representative seat. So that's just a public service announcement, just trying to get the facts out, okay? Now, folks have asked me, well, why are you running? And I tell you that when we did our first opening announcement about my candidacy, we were at the Greenwood Cultural Center. We picked the Greenwood Cultural Center because I think it speaks to the best of who we are. It talks about us as a black folk, black people, and the beauty of who we are. It talks about our dignity and our brilliance and our intelligence and our industriousness in order to get out and get something done. And somehow I think we have lost that in this community to some degree. Somehow we have kind of thrown our hands up and we've watched the political process, electoral process, kind of just be passé, and it's as if it is what it is and folks aren't very engaged. And I don't know how that happens, but I do think that you've got to have people involved in the process. And I think everybody deserves options. And so when folks said to me, well, why don't you just wait? Why don't you just wait? Well, I couldn't wait because, to be quite honest with you, I have ancestors who were very much a part of this community. I have ancestors who said, you be your best always, you always perform, you always have courage, you always stand up. So I could not sit back and wait because somebody told me to wait. I also am running because I think that you deserve a choice. You should be able to say who's going to best represent you. Now, when we talk about the race riot, we talk about the fires, the flame, the raging hatred that was existing. What struck me was that was a group of folks that they had courage. And when they were knocked down, they got back up. And when their buildings and their homes are on fire, like my grandfather's, the building, homes, totally devastated, there's a resiliency that says we get back up. And that's what I want to see again in this community. So the theme for our campaign is the power of we. It's about us. It's about us taking back what's been taken from us. And I'm talking about that spirit that says we're all right. That spirit that says we are wonderful. That spirit that says we're going to get past this apathy that has somehow set in, and we're going to begin to advance. So it says that some women get lost in the fire, And some women are built in the fire. And I am that woman. And when we begin to be told that really you guys just sit back, let the process work, it can't work without you stepping up to the plate. How are we going to have a process when the people aren't involved? So I'm asking you to get involved, have your say, and let the process play out. Let the process play out. Then we talk about, well, what's your agenda? How do you have the nerve to stand up and want to run for the Senate seat? Well, I think the agenda has always been the same for decades. As long as I've been living, we've been talking about education reform. We've been talking about economic development, right? Same stuff, same stuff. Then we talk about let's expand and improve affordable health care. Same stuff. And then we talk about, well, let's redesign the criminal justice system. Same stuff, same issues. So why is that? So the platform is not difficult, you guys. We can all come up, throw out these words and talk about it. But the difference I think that we can bring to the table is, first of all, I said we. I didn't say I said the difference that we can bring to the table, and we're going to go as far as we allow ourselves to go. So where is the creativity? Where is the notion that says, well, we understand that the Capitol is dominated by Republicans, and very few women, very, very few, and certainly very few Democrats. So where's the creativity from your home to the dome that says, if I can't get it inside the Capitol, and we've done that, and we're working that process as we should, then where is the creativity that says then we go around, and we go above, and we stay on the ground, and we have a connection? That's the way it used to happen in the 60s. I know it used to work because those folks, Ben Hill and Amos Hall and Ed Goodwin and Mabel Little, okay? Those are folks, Homer Johnson, those are folks that made it happen. Julius Piggies, knocking on the door, couldn't get in, but they got creative and they got busy and it happened. We want to get back to that. That's what the power of we is all about. So I'm saying to you, my name is Regina Goodwin. On April 7th, I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking that you see a new dynamic in terms of how we relate to each other, the information that we deserve to have on the ground level so we really know what's going on. We need to disseminate it, and we need to be talking about it, and we need to be active. And let's get together. And then it says, you know, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I want to get back to that. I want to get back to that so we can move forward. And I will also say this, that when Billy was telling me about this event, what it's about, I said, absolutely, absolutely, I want to be there. I want to be there because we were just blessed, really. In my family, my father's grand is Ed Goodwin Sr., and I grew up with stories. I grew up with stories that when black folks would come to town, they were not allowed to stay in the white hotels. That's just the way it was. So they would have to stay in somebody's home. And they would stay at my grandfather's home, and that was a sense of community there. It's like, we got your back, we got each other. And George Washington Carver came and he stayed at my grandfather's house. And George Washington Carver, you guys, kids know about George Washington Carver. We should all know about George Washington Carver. Genius, botanist, artist. He would go up to Standpipe Hill, 5 o'clock in the morning, look at the plants, see what was happening. Knew all about what was best for our bodies. Said we could always live off of peanuts and the sweet potato. He said that. And so he was at my grandmother's house, and they said to him, Mr. Carver, we want you to make yourself at home, take your shoes off, listen to the radio. No TV at the time. I want you to go in and listen to the radio. They left the room, left Mr. Washington there. George Washington Carver, left him there. And they came back, they saw that George Washington Carver was still sitting next to this radio. Genius, he knew all about plants and earth and sky, but this new contraption called a radio, it was baffling to him. So, great-grandmother said to him, Mr. Carver, why aren't you listening to the music? And he said, I don't know how to turn it on. I cannot figure out how to turn it on. And he took that lesson. Once he was showed how to turn on this radio and he heard this beautiful music, he took that lesson from that home and he would go to college campuses and talk. And he would tell children, he would say to them, there's music all around you. There's access to whatever you want all around you, opportunity all around you. You just got to know how to tune in. Just got to know how to tune in. And what we're saying in this campaign, The Power of We, it's time to tune in again. We're asking you to get with us. Let's make this happen. I look forward to working with you if blessed enough to get your votes. My name is Regina Goodwin. April 7th. It's time to break through. Thank you.